Welcome to the episode of PC24. Today is 16th September. We are just few days from October when we will be expecting another rate in announcement from the Bank of Canada. So many people think it's not going to change, but Bank of Canada has a hawkish approach so far. It was clearly indicated by the governor of the Bank of Canada that should the situation allow, they will not hesitate to increase the rate. CIBC has predicted that by the end of this year, the policy rate, which stands at 5% today, will go to 5.25%. We'll keep chatting a number of things about that. We are very sorry for this delay. We got a technical glitch. Cameras were not being detected by our software, and we have to make some quick arrangement, alternative arrangement. I have with me Gurleen Aujla from Four-Way Immigrations, and she does an amazing job educating each and every one of those who are actually interested in bringing their family members over here, or need spousal visa, or need to keep up with the latest information. Because if an advisor is not updated with what's going on in their industry, guess what? They are not the right fit for you. So you need someone who is updated. And as far as I have noticed, once Gurleen has given a statement, then I see tons of videos 2 days later. So people are always a bit late from Gurleen. So Gurleen, we take so much pride in being the first broadcaster of having Gurleen on our platform, and we won't let her go away. So welcome, Gurleen. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, Mr. Paul Cheema ji. How are you?
Life is good. Just came running and right at the broadcast. Very eager to hear some amazing news from you. So people are waiting.
Well, thank you so much for your kind words. And I was listening about the code that you have mentioned, that we're the first ones that deliver the updates in the market. It is so true. Apparently, a few of my friends reach out to me, not even reach out directly, but they were actually mentioning about it, where I see them doing all the power podcast, or maybe they're on the social platforms and definitely giving out good info. And sometimes I always kind of like joke around saying, hey, listen, I know you're a copycat. Well, no offense. It's a great way of giving out the authentic knowledge to your audience, to your viewers, and maybe someone could be benefited from your expertise.
Yeah. So we are trendsetters.
We are indeed.
Fantastic. So I'm so happy that we could actually be the first to start a program that only delves on the legit information for the people. And anyone is more than welcome to reach out to us, send a comment or two, and talk about their issues. We will try to resolve them. If they pertain to immigration, then Gurleen is here. Her phone is on the screen. I think it is, I cannot read it, but Gurleen, can you repeat your phone number for me, please?
Sure, it's just to mention, so the one that's popping up on the screen is the personal one, 639-998-1992, but the business phone number is 647-465-8894. Please feel free to reach out at any of the phone numbers. I'm just one call away.
I know you have so many things to handle, but thank you very much for being here with us. So what's going on in the immigration system? Last time you spoke about grandparents visa, right? Some allocation from 2020 that is being
2020.
released this time.
That's right. So yeah, I mean, we can just kind of like, because it's still new in the market, and maybe there is some misinformation where I see videos circulating and stating, okay, you know what, parents and grandparents sponsorship has reopened. Well, technically, it's not reopened for the year of 2022 and 2023. It's just for the year of 2020 that the total of 15,000 ITAs has been sent to to the ones that are already in the pool. So meaning, no, it's not like anybody else can sponsor their parents in 2022 or 2023. It's
Mm-hmm.
just the invitations to apply, or we would say the interest, the auto interest that's generated by the system is being so basically, what it means is like this is auto-generated by the system, and there are 15,000 invitations being sent out to the original sponsors.
Yeah. So it's not to be mistaken with that these are the recent year allocation. They are not.
That's right. That's right. That's right. It's just the allocations from the previous year, and it's just the invitations being sent at this moment because of the backlog. They were not apparently able to send it in the past.
Oh, I see. So this is where what I mean when I say that you should always reach out to Gurleen because she has the latest and the right information. People start throwing stuff online without realizing what they're saying and what implications they are getting into themselves, and they're putting other people into risk zone as well. So making false commitment, this is so bad ethically and professionally. So it should be understood that these allocations are not for 2022, 2023. They are the backlog, if I may say it correctly.
That's right. So just to put it in simple words, IRCC will not be opening a new interest to a sponsor form. So it is just between October 10 and 2023, sponsorship submitted in interest to sponsor in 2020. And if so, what I meant is like 24,200 invitations will be sent, and 15,000 has already been sent. So if
Wow.
in case I have a very interesting news to share that's in regards to the student direct stream. Well,
Hmm.
Indian applicants, they do fall under student direct stream
Student
for
direct
study permit
scheme,
stream, SDS category for study
SDS.
visas.
Okay.
So there are two categories. One is SDS, the other one is non-SDS. So
Okay.
SDS, if I have to give the, basically in SDS, the requirements are usually that there has to be 10 grants in GIC. Applicant has to pay 2 years, not 2 years, but I would say usually because applicants would like to stick to anything closer to 2 years in terms of their education. So they have to pay 1 year of full fees. So these are the key points for SDS, and Indian applicants, they fall under student direct stream. Now they have recently amended the language score. They have actually added more options for the language score. So,
Okay.
so as of now, if I read it as per IRCC will be accepting the following language test scores under SDS stream as of August 10,
Mm-hmm.
2023. So they're accepting Kale with a minimum score of 60,
So
Selpip General, they're accepting a score that is equivalent to CLB score, at least 7 for each ability. IELTS Academic, a minimum overall score of at least 6. IELTS General, a score that is equivalent to a CLB score of at least 7 for each
mm-hmm.
ability. PCF Canada, a score that is equivalent to a CLB score of at least 7 for each ability. So IRCC was only accepting valid IELTS or TEF language test results before August 10, 2023. So they definitely have added so many options. Scale
Okay.
was never a part of the language test in the past, nor was LPIP General, and even IELTS General, they have recently added it. So anybody who is in a pool where they are not able to score well for IELTS academic, they can always try for IELTS General, they can try for CELPIP,
Uh-huh.
or they can always try for TCF as well.
Wow, that's too much information for me to grasp and even ask you a question about that. So much data you share in just a few seconds. I guess people who are into this, they do understand what you just told them, right? So what
Well,
I
I
understood is some
usually
scores
share
have been
posts.
lowered, right? Some scores have been lowered. That's what I understood.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So
It's definitely a part of the game plan.
it's more now for those people. So more people qualify. I only understood one thing, that is Indian students, like भारत के जो विद्यार्थी हैं, भारत हो गया ना जी, इंडिया कहते हले होया नहीं ऑफिशियली,
जी
पर हो जाएगा कहते बड़ी जल्दी। भारत के विद्यार्थियों, आप इसमें क्वालिफाई कर सकते हैं, कुछ इदां दी स्टेटमेंट होगी।
जी definitely. So SDS stream ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਫੀ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਕੰਟਰੀਜ਼ ਆਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਬ੍ਰਾਜ਼ੀਲ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਚਾਈਨਾ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਕੋਸਟਾ ਰਿਕਾ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਮੋਰੋਕੋ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪੀਰੋ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਫਿਲੀਪੀਨਸ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਵਿਅਤਨਾਮ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ. So there are so many countries that actually fall under SDS. So basically, passport holders of these countries, they are eligible under SDS category. The good part is कि SDS ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ SDS category ਚ apply ਕਰਨ ਦਾ benefit ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਇਹੀ benefit ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ study visa ਲੱਗਣ ਦੇ chances ਥੋੜੇ high ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ as compared to non SDS stream.
So
So
they have to
ਦੂਸਰੀ ਗੱਲ
pay
ਇਹ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ,
1 year. Sorry, yeah, I'm just stopping. So they have to pay 1 year's fee for their courses. That's it.
नहीं जी नहीं, what I meant is, so usually what happens is, like, normally they on SDS, just one semester of the tuition fee that is required. But if you're applying under non SDS stream, then it has to be a tuition fee of 1 year complete that has to be paid upfront.
Okay.
And then there has to be $10,000 in your GIC account as well. So those are the two main requirements of the SDS stream.
Oh, I see.
And you need a valid offer letter from DLI, from one of the valid DLI institution.
Perfect. Now I kind of
जी
understood some of it. So basically, it's a beneficial information, and I actually encourage people to get a hold of you. For me, that is the easy part. Get a hold of Gurleen, and then I am out of it. So
So this was never, apparently I looked into the updates, and this was something that I felt like sharing. Reason being because usually India ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਕਿ emphasize the IELTS ਨੂੰ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ they are asking to you know, you can always stick to PTE, but PTE again you would have to apply for non SDS stream until and unless it is the part of the IRCC update where they will officially start accepting PTE for your study visas as well. As of now, there is no update in the market. So anybody who is getting lured, because few of my clients, they called me up and they were asking about is PTE getting accepted as well, and asi PTE kar lene hai. Yes, there is an announcement where apparently IRCC will start accepting, but कोई timeline या proper उन्होंने कोई स्पेसिफिकली कोई डेट नहीं मेंशन की थी भी इस डेट तो बाद वाली एप्लीकेशंस ਲਈ PTE एक्सेप्ट हो जाएगी, which maybe they will drag it to the next year. Nobody can predict about that part because that is that is the internal news, right? But the good part is कि anybody who cannot perform well in IELTS academic can always go for IELTS general. Even it's said in it's a general statement where they say IELTS general is, in terms of format, is usually easier than IELTS academic.
yeah,
So
PD is kind of big
there are different options. Earlier, they never had many options except for going for IELTS as a language test exam, but now since they have different options, I would definitely ask audience to opt for an option where you think you can perform better.
So I have one person, his name is Alex, and I think he mentioned to something that you said. He said, "Do not renew it." I do not understand how it applies to your statements that you just made.
Do not renew it.
Yeah, we didn't say anything like that.
Renew.
Don't,
Do not renew. You mean the test, language test result?
something this is, I don't know what it means, but Alex, can you be a bit clearer about that? Because I kind of do not understand. So Gurleen is very eager to answer your concern.
Oh, somebody is messaging you, I guess, right? So
Somebody,
from
oh,
the audience, we're getting okay.
yeah, yeah, it's someone from TikTok. Someone just sent a response.
Okay, okay,
They
okay,
just
okay.
mentioned something, and I do not understand what it pertains.
So yeah, in terms of renewing, though, okay, so that pretty much means like if you see, it depends on your comfort zone. If you're comfortable with the same language test format, then you should not even bother going for another language test
Mm-hmm.
exam, and that to a different format or that to a different exam, because you already have that comfort zone and you have already spent your time and energy and money in terms of learning the format and following the pattern. But if you find it extremely hard to understand the format and perform well, then obvious now you have different options. Could be ALS General, could be CELPIP. Even with the CELPIP, if you
Mm-hmm.
are able to get the Canadian language benchmark of with the ability of 7, like Canadian language benchmark of 7, then you're eligible under STS3.
Okay. Well, maybe he meant something on a similar pattern. But anyways, if he comes back, we will have better clarification. So these days, frauds are also on the rise. People want to come to Canada by hook or by crook. So what I would like you to tell those people what they should be watching, like what trigger or what red flag they should be watching for when they are in an interaction with so-called immigration consultants on like who are not qualified, or we used to refer to them as ghost consultants. So what could be the red flags, how they should proceed, what kind of information should they disclose to such people or not disclose to such people, what they should do if they have been scammed. Do you have any tips for those people?
Well, Mr. Paljima, so my recommendation is usually that you should look into the documents provided by them. So, for instance, if somebody is promising you an offer letter from a college, it always varies from an application to application as well. I would like to quote an example just for a study visa as of now.
Mm-hmm.
So, once you have the offer letter handy, right? So the offer letter
Yeah.
can be edited, and this is what has been happening in the past with most of the international students, where they get Section 44 summaries after a while. And this was like one of the reason that the offer letters were edited, and students are being a victim of a fraud. So what I normally suggest is like since there would be Canadian phone numbers provided for the institution as well, so
Yeah.
call them directly just to double check if you are with the institution, or maybe the agent is trying to lure you about it. And in general, even with the PR processing, even with the other applications as well, such as like recently there I have recently been in touch with one of the agent back home,
Mm-hmm.
and we were sort of discussing about it as well. So in India, in general, they look for a license number as well. So they have recently, like the bureaucrats, they have recently started raiding the ghost consultants in terms of like with the ones that are non-licensed. So in India, they do need a license from the state for the practice. So they're definitely getting strict with so many complaints being filed and so much being happened. So this can be one of the criteria where you can ask your agent, okay, are you being licensed, or are you working as a tie up with one
Yeah,
of the practicing
that heart
RCIC
tug
members?
should always be there. Are you licensed? Important.
Yeah, they're not practicing RCICs for sure, but they
Yeah.
can always be they will be so agent, basically. If I talk about the term in terms of like the ICC's regulation, it clearly mentions anybody who is, so agents are being designated by the practicing RCICs. So I can set
Hmm.
up agent agreements with multiple entities in India, provided that both parties, it is as per the mutual consent
Hmm.
between both parties. So what I'm trying to explain is like, if the entity is not fraudulent, they will provide you the info about either or, and it's your right to ask those questions, because being shy does not help.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're a victim of fraud when you're being shy, or you're not being when you do not, when you can't pose those questions to them, you ultimately become a victim of the fraud as well.
Absolutely. You're kind of encouraging those things, and sometimes people get scared to ask questions. Should I ask this question? Will he feel offended? Should I say that? Or he because sometimes people give so many examples of many other agents they have supported, and people think, oh my God, this person seems to be a great person, so I shouldn't mess around with him. Maybe they will screw up my file or something like that. So the bottom line is, do not hesitate to give those people a call and verify credentials. And I would actually ask him, can you give me a reference to who you served in the past? There's no harm in getting a phone number. I would do that if I'm like triggered that this person is not the legit member. And more or less, I guess the knowledge itself will show up if the person is legit or not.
Well, definitely, it's usually the experience that definitely matters as well.
Yeah.
So, in in most of the matters, what happens is like, because when you're dealing with a client who is merely 19 years old, like if I talk about any study visa applicant, he or
Yeah.
she would not be aware of their rights, especially parents being desperate. They just want to send their kids right away to
Yeah.
to other nations. But this is something that we should bring in practice cumulatively. So being a professional, this is my advice. What Even with the other applications, there is a way to do the due diligence, and
Mhm.
I would definitely recommend, like, gone are the days when we used to say, okay, somebody back home cannot get in touch with the professional who is based in Canada. That is again a straightforward lie.
Yeah.
If TikTok can spread that much knowledge, why not calling some professional and asking them about the genuine advice?
You're right.
Being a professional, I would definitely like to mention that I always get calls from back home where it was pretty recent, where I think this client got hold of me, or maybe they got my contact details from one of the media channel where I usually go for broadcasts.
Okay.
So when I so he I would not say that that was a direct fraud, but he was a part of the fraud. He was being lured into a situation which was basically not even something, where you say, okay, you know what, I can get it done for you, and it's something that you promise above and beyond. So
Yeah.
I think this he initially went to New Zealand for his further studies, and
Okay.
for some reason, because he met an accident, and he filed a humanitarian and compassionate ground application with New Zealand, and then I think he not to be honest, I just have a glimpse of the matter because it's been a while. It's been like 10 months, and he was being back and forth. So I'm just giving a
Yeah.
glimpse of the whole matter.
Yeah. Just
So
the
because
tip of the iceberg.
yeah, agency didn't go through, and he had to return to India. And now, for somebody to adapt to the home country is a bit of task as well, because when you have lived in a foreign country for so and so years, it's hard to adapt back home as well. So, he was desperately looking for a way out to it. So I think one of the agent just kind of, this is all fake and false promises where you say, okay, I have a connection in IRCC and I can get you a visitor visa done. So something like this happened, and he apparently got his pass. So he, so agent actually collected his passport, like applicant's passport. And now
Mm-hmm.
he's clueless what exactly has happened. Has he actually applied for a visitor visa? And he does not even have the application number. He does not even know if the agent has actually filed it, or maybe it was just a talk in the air. So now he kept asking me, ma'am, is there a way you can just go back and look into it? I said, like, first of all, I can bet you on that he never applied for it. But
Yes.
honestly, if he has applied for it, there is no way I can look into. I can, there is a way to request the copy of the application if you have a refusal letter, because the refusal letter, the generic one, would have the application number, the UCI number, and the date of the decision. But since
That's right.
these details are missing, so there is no way I can go back and file an ATIP with IRCC. Now, because when you are in such a situation, you are actually seeking a help, and that too desperately. So he started
Yeah.
looking for few. So he started, searching different names and whatnot. So he said, like, he got in touch with the forum in Montreal, which I don't know has grounds, and he kept calling me and saying, "Hey, I was able to get hold of like one of the IRCC's representative." And I'm like, good for
Okay.
you. And then he sent a number,
Yeah.
and then I just realized, okay, it's a local phone number. It's not even IRCC's phone number, because the that is a generic phone number. It's 1-888-242-2100, right? Now, I said, like, maybe, what, somebody is trying to misguide you again, where, this is something I do not want to deal with. And
Yeah.
this is because apparently, if we do not have details for the previous application, he will be served with like 5 years of misrepresentation, and putting somebody in such a situation, that's not what a professional would do. So this is my recommendation: do not fall for like lucrative promises, or do not even think that, okay, you know what, there is a way out to do things without following IRCC's proper guidelines.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. And I appreciate you for your knowledge that you share with each and every one of us. I keep staring at my two different cameras, and I think when you see me, you must be looking that I'm looking to the roof. But I always keep forgetting that my backup camera today is on the lower angle. So then I remember that I look into that. So I'm connecting with people eye to eye. I keep looking like that, like I'm drunk or I'm high.
That's okay, Mr. Paljima. It happens, and trust me, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, you keep saying that, and that keeps driving me, keep doing the stuff. Thank you very much, Gurleen. Would you like to say anything else, or you will come back next Friday then?
I will definitely be here. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Paljima, for giving us an amazing opportunity. Honestly, every professional is able to share their experience, and it's all thanks to you. Viewers, I'm just one call away. You can always reach out to me at 647-465-8894, or please do call me at 639-998-1992. You can always email your inquiry to info at fourwayimmigration.com. Thank you so much, Mr. Paul Cheema.
Thank you very
I will
much.
see you next
We'll
month.
come back after a quick
Thank
break.
you.
Thank you very much. Are you thinking of selling your home? You are covered. From my experience of 14 plus years in the real estate industry, this is what I have come to know. There are three major concerns that any home seller would want their realtor to answer. Number one, how much is their home worth? Number two, how long will it take to sell their house? And number three, what will the agent do to make it sell? I have answers to all these questions. To schedule your one-on-one appointment, call me at 647-424-0358. Once again, Paul Cheema, broker with Remax Prime Properties. My phone number to call is 647-424-0358. Call me now and get moving.
From a vast experience in immigration industry, this is what I've figured out. Clients want to know if their application is submitted in a timely fashion, what a representative can do to serve best interest of their client. Clients are informed on a regular basis about the progress of their application. We deliver what we promise. My phone number is 647-465-8894, or reach me out at 639-998-1992.
Are you thinking of a career change or adding another one to your portfolio? Well, you are thinking right. Call Sarabjit Ludhar at 416-879-3039 from Beyond Care Insurance Solutions. She also deals in life, long-term, travel, critical illness, disability insurance. Give her a call today at 416-879-3039. This is what we can tell you. She will always give you the right advice and help you find out if being an insurance advisor is your piece of cake. Are you looking for a reliable legal office that can handle your closing in the most effective manner? If yes, please get in touch with Rakesh Joshi at 416-213-8600. Joshi Law Office provides all the legal advices about real estate law, business law, immigration laws, notarization and affidavits, wills and trust. Give them a call today, 416-213-8600. ਅਵੰਤਿਆ ਬੜਾ ਖੁਸ਼ ਤੁਰਿਆ ਹੋਣਾ ਕਿ ਲਾਟਰੀ ਲੂਟਰੀ ਲੱਗ ਗਈ ਤੇਰੀ। ਕਾਸ਼ ਇਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਲਾਟਰੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ। ਵੈਸੇ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਲਾਟਰੀ ਵਰਗੀ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦਾ ਬੀਮਾ ਕਰਵਾ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ, ਤੇ ਜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਮਗਰੋਂ ਕੋਈ $1 ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਊਗਾ। ਉਹ ਅੱਛਾ, ਇਹ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ? ਉਹ ਜੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਮਲਜੀਤ ਬੋਲਾ ਨੂੰ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ 647-772-1481। ਹੁਣੇ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਲੈ ਫੋਨ, ਬੈਠੇ ਨੇ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਛੱਡ ਦੇਈਂ। ਉਹ ਬੱਲੇ ਤੇਰੇ। PC24 ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ 5 ਚੈਨਲਾਂ ਤੇ ਬੜੇ ਸ਼ੌਕ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਪ੍ਰਮੋਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ 647-333-2273 ਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ। ਕੁਝ ਸਮੇਂ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਮੁਫਤ ਦਿੱਤੀਆਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ। 647-333-2273। Welcome to PC24 RTV's remaining segment of today. This is 16 September 2023. So ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਥੋੜੀ ਬਹੁਤੀ mortgage ਦੀ, and we'll talk about how the things are going on. But before we go there, mortgage news from Canadian mortgage trends, I would like to share my 2 cents about this incidents that happened between landlords and tenants, where neither party was right in my best opinion. So well, you may have different perspective, but that's okay, because diversity of thought is what makes us grow and be better. So you might have seen this property which is now publicly defamed on Google Maps. So basically what people are doing, they have looked up the address, and they are asking their friends to give negative reviews on the house. So if you look up at this property address, which is 28 Ridgemore in Brampton, people have given such a negative comments, and that makes it really dangerous situation, not only for the homeowners but also for those who are commenting. This could be a very serious case of bullying, harassment, public harassment, and maybe battery, because somewhere someone also said that you should physically harm the lady. This is not right. This is not right. Both the parties, like even the landlords, were not right in their they should have conducted them better in front of the children, but at the same time the students should have conducted them in a better way. But at the same time, all other people who are commenting should make appropriate cognizance of the situation, that it is not right to publicly threat, and that too online. Cases can be initiated, and this can jeopardize your dream when you came to Canada. So please, please, please hold on to your silly thoughts and be better. So there's it's done deal. I don't know if those guys moved out or they are still there or what's going on. But you shouldn't do that. And now we are blaming that they were charging 3,500 rent, but at the same time, why accept that kind of rent? 7 people in 1-bedroom basement apartment simply doesn't make sense. So my request to all the students is, your parents sent you here for some better reasons. So I know in student life you do not care, but in Canada this is different. Once there is a legal suit, it's going to be very troublesome for you forever. So please, please, please stay away from this. There you will find all kind of people around, but the common sense is to conduct yourself in a way better way. So what I was going to show you were the reviews, and some of the reviews, and I would give an alert. Some of the reviews that I noticed are really very bad. So bad that they have tons of profanity in them. That's what I was looking for. There's a profanity in the tone, and this is not right. So if you look at this review here, so there is a review page that I'm showing you right here, and that's what is doing the rounds of social media. And please, I would suggest, do not do that. Giving wrong titles to the family, this opens up you to a very dangerous situation, and that's okay. You are not even there, so without knowing the 2 sides of the story, you should not do that. You should not do anything. And there are tons of many comments on TikTok where people are saying many baseless things. I do not recommend you do that. Okay? So if you kindly conduct in a better way and leave it, people who are wrong will eventually, you know, get karma, do the justice to them. So anyways, so there are so many bad things happening. That's what is scaring the tenants and the landlord. Both parties are equally scared. But if we keep doing that kind of stuff, I will tell you one thing for sure. More and more households will stop renting to students because it's not about money, it's about peace of mind as well. So if they don't get that, guess what? You are in a bad shape. So mortgage interest costs are 80% since the start of Bank of Canada's first rate hike. We talked about that, and now what's happening? There are early stage delinquencies for all credit products that are increasing. This is a report from Equifax, and Equifax report from Canadian Mortgage Trend says the 30 plus day delinquency rate on non-mortgage debt was up by 26.3% now. It's a huge jump compared to last 12 months. So people who are defaulting on non-mortgage related credit debts, your credit card purchase, your grocery purchase on card. So there are 30 plus days delinquency. So delinquency when your payment is in default for more than 3 months is what happens then. So this is data from Equifax. The number of consumers that are starting to miss at least one payment grew last quarter and is continuing to grow. This is from the Vice President of the Advanced Analyticals section at Equifax Canada. And there are pretty large jumps in the number of missed payments when compared to last year. It is 26.3% and growing. We are seeing that movement across all products. The good news is that for some of those products, such as mortgages, those levels are still firmly below where we were pre-pandemic. So mortgage is holding good so far, but non-mortgage debt is not being paid on time. So the data shows the delinquency rate for auto loans and personal and home equity lines of credit are now at or near pre-pandemic levels. Missed payments on HELOC. You know HELOCs, the rates are going to be, the percentage you can take for HELOC is being clipped down as we speak to 65%. Currently, it stands at 80%. So missed payments on HELOC are 71% compared to the second quarter of 2022 and are just 12.8% below 2019 levels. So there are also reports that HELOC holders have seen their payments rise by over $200 a month. It's a lot of money, and your income has not increased as much. So this is dangerous situation, and we all understand it's not easy fix right now as economy takes a dive, and it is projected that we will be in a recession very soon, and it will last for at least the middle of 2024. So mortgage delinquencies are now 32.6% above a year ago levels, but remain 36% lower than the pre-pandemic levels in 2019. So 2019 mortgage delinquencies are increasing to 32.6% from the last year, but they are still 36% lower than the pre-pandemic levels of 2019. Regionally, interest rates are having the biggest impact on mortgage holders in Ontario and British Columbia, where delinquencies have spiked 86.9% and 33.9% in BC. Factors such as substantial house price increases, larger loan amounts, a higher proportion of variable rate mortgages, and the elevated cost of living have contributed to the delinquency rise. Additionally, payment shocks for newly renewed mortgages and upcoming renewals are poised to impact consumer finances, particularly for those facing mortgage terms that extend beyond their expected retirement age. This is serious. This is really getting serious, leaving them with limited options for reducing monthly payment costs. So mortgage growth being driven by the first-time home buyers. So this is also reported by Equifax. The new mortgage originations are mostly for the first-time home buyers, which are protected by insurers, mortgage insurers for default mortgage insurance. The initial rate hike in 2022 made many first-time home buyers delay their purchases, but there are increases now in the first-time home buyers from first quarter of 2023, despite higher interest rates. So at the same time, while overall originations were up 40% compared to the first quarter, driven in part by the Bank of Canada rate pause, and they still remain well below levels seen in 2020 and 2021. The average loan amount for the first-time home buyers in the second quarter of 2023 was $408,000. So this is up from $406,000 in the first quarter, a little increase of maybe couple $1,000, right? And change. More than a third, 35% mortgages have an amortization of more than 25 years, according to Equifax. So that means first-time home buyers are just getting longer amortizations. Wow, that is something very interesting. And consumer proposals are increasing. So this is another report from Canadian Mortgage Trends, citing Equifax as their source. The largest consumer proposal increase has been seen among those with a mortgage, which are up 42% from the last year, while there's been a 25% increase among consumers without a mortgage. 42% people who owe a mortgage are running to file proposals, while for those non-mortgage credit holders, it is about 25%. So proposals are there as a tool to help them manage financial stress. If you have assets, so perhaps we actually would see a little bit more coming through for that mortgage group. This is from the analytics section of Equifax. The credit demand is boosted by the newcomers. So despite a slowdown in the mortgage loan growth, which was up just 1% in the quarter, total consumer debt in Canada rose 1.9% to $2.4 trillion, driven largely by growth in credit card balances. So this is where newcomers are coming in. 1 in 7 applicants was from a new to credit client. So 1 in 7. The number of credit active consumer with less than 24 months of credit activity was up 37.1%, while the average non-mortgage debt went down by 10.2% when compared to second quarter of 2022. This increase was masked by the influx of new credit users in Canada who have much lower debt levels when they first become credit active. So, by contrast, consumers with a credit history of 2 years or more have had an average non-mortgage debt of 22,710, up 1.9% from the last year. So this tells me things are going to go a bit nasty very soon, and we have to live through these circumstances. So there's nothing we can do about it except manage non-essential expenses and keeping a positive mindset. This is the time when people need mental support for their mental health. I guess this is really, really very important. Mental health should be at the forefront of everything. So we are at 5% policy rate now, but CIBC projects it to be 5.25% by end of 2023, and then it is expected that these policy rates will come down to 3.5% by next year, which is cool, which is great, a good news. But 1 year is too far, right? So 2024 is too far. So let's live through 2023. I wish everyone peace, and may God support you, whatever you're doing, and enrich you with mental peace and safety of thought. Keep positive mindset. That's all I need. We are all in this together. Nobody is separate except those multi-millionaire who decided to go on those silly trips up into the sky and down into the bottom where Titanic sank. Though those people can afford it, but to achieve that level is really very hard. I don't know how people go there. But thank you very much for being with us for whatever time you were here. So I wish you success in whatever you're doing. But before I leave, I would offer my sincere condolences if you have lost a family member today. May God grant peace to the departed soul and give you a strong mindset to get over this big vacuum in your life. Thank you very much, and I will see you on Monday at 6:30 p.m. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.